to run for president. You know why? Because there's two critical issues in the country today. Economic strength. As the Budget Committee chairman in Washington, we had massive economic expansion and tremendous job growth and hope. In Ohio, I entered at a very, very tough time. And now people across the state are hopeful again, where people are getting work, where our children can have a future. And you see, that model's not complicated. It just takes guts. What it means is that you have common sense regulations so that you do not crush small business. And I will have a program that will freeze all federal regulations for 1 year, except for health and safety, force the Congress to vote on regulation. The bureaucrats are writing laws which they have no right to do, and begin to unwind the regulations that are stomping on small business and keeping us from having the kind of economic growth we want in this country. Secondly, we need to reduce taxes on corporations that have seen fit to invest their profits in Europe, because we punish them if they come back. Oh yes, we can cut the corporate tax rate and we can stop double taxing businesses. How do I know it? Because I know it because I've been in business. And we need to reduce the individual tax rate. But we got to do it in such a way that we can pass it. And we can go to the old Reagan model of 28, 25, 10% with the capital gains at 15 to provide incentives, and we can make the tax code simpler and clear and realistically being able to pass. And I will put us on a path to a balanced budget, as I have in the past, with no third rails, no problems with dealing with entitlements, with innovation. And I want you to know one other thing. I will shift welfare, education, Medicaid, job training, and infrastructure back to the states, so the states can provide the program and innovation and change that we all seek by shifting power, money, and influence out of Washington. But what I also would like you to know, as I get ready to leave the stage here, is that it does matter who's the president. I remember when Ronald Reagan said it was morning in America, that we were a shining city on a hill. Or you think I don't know about what Winston Churchill said about never, 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 ever give up? Of course I know. But the strength of our country does not rest in the president. The strength of our country rests in us. When I was a kid, we didn't worship presidents. Our hero was Roberto Clemente, the great baseball player, who gave up his life trying to help earthquake victims in Nicaragua. Took a plane that was not safe and died. And I remember the morning when my mother came into my room, one of the very few times I watched my mother cry, because children don't like to see their mother cry. It's unsettling. And my mother came in and said, "Our hero died last night." You see, I remember back in the Keys Rocks that we didn't wait for somebody to come in on a white horse to try to save us. The strength of our country rests in our families. It rests in our communities. It rests in our neighborhoods. You want to fix your schools? You want to make sure that your kids are getting the skills they need? Then go do it. Don't wait for somebody out in Madison or somebody down in Washington to come. You do it. Change the world. You want to fight the problem of drug abuse in this state? You grab a kid and tell that young man or that young woman that they've got a God-given purpose that will be obscured and destroyed if they cave to the evils of drug addiction. Can you change it? You better believe it. We have a program called Start Talking. We start talking to kids, and we all need to, all across this country. And we don't need to wait for bureaucrats or government officials. We do it in our churches, our synagogues, our community organizations, and our schools. And you want to fight poverty? You have a welfare office that brings the businesses in, and when a person comes in to get the welfare check, you train them for the job of the businesses that are located in the welfare office. You don't have to wait for anybody else. You go do it. People in Milwaukee didn't wait to fix their schools, by the way. They fixed them because they drove change and innovation, and they took matters into their own hands. Ladies and gentlemen, The Lord's made us all special for a purpose, to live a life bigger than ourselves. And when we live a life bigger than ourselves, if we're a nurse that spends 15 extra minutes with a family when the nurse is dead tired and tells the family it's going to be okay. Or a teacher, the most underpaid people on the face of the earth, who give up pay to change kids' lives. I'll give you another way you change the world. You have a lady who was married for 50 years. Her husband died. Her phone doesn't ring anymore.